What's up, guys? So I know the Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight, but I figured I'd spend this time to talk about the passing of Jerry West. Um, Three-time All-American at West Virginia, one-time champion as a player, eight-time champion as an executive, won a gold medal in the 1960 Olympic Games as a player, 145 and 101 career record as a coach for the Lakers. Uh, West is the only player to be awarded the NBA Finals MVP for the losing team in 1969 when they lost in 7 games to the Boston Celtics. West was named the most valuable player of the finals. That's the only time that has ever happened where a player on the losing team is awarded the Finals MVP. It's never happened since. Um, he was the scoring champion in 1970, the assist champion in 1972, and that was the year that both he and Wilt Chamberlain led the Lakers to West's first title. Um, West had a lot of struggles in the 60s, obviously, getting over the hump and playing the Celtics. He was never able to beat them in the finals. He came close in 69, but it wasn't able to happen. But I think what he's known for, even more so than his playing days, is his time as an executive for the Lakers and the Grizzlies primarily. He also was an advisor for the Warriors and the Clippers. Um, I think overall, that's what he's most known for is his time as an executive. The teams that he was able to build in Los Angeles, he was able to trade Vlade Divac and get Kobe Bryant. He was able to sign Shaquille O'Neal and form arguably the greatest duo, if not inarguably the greatest duo in basketball history. The only duo that could really say anything in regards to that would be Jordan and Pippen, but Kobe and Shaq were as dominant as it got. 3 straight titles, and Jerry West was the person that architected that entire Laker dynasty in the early 2000s. He selected Kobe Bryant 13th overall when many teams had passed on him, including the Clippers. He was a 17-year-old kid. His parents had to help him sign the contract because he wasn't a legal adult yet, and West saw the talent in Kobe Bryant and brought him on. And then he left the Lakers in 2000, and then in 2002 he went to the Grizzlies. He was responsible for drafting Pau Gasol, James Posey. He got Jason Williams. He traded Mike Bibby for Jason Williams, and I think that those guys really helped build that young core for the Grizzlies that eventually was able to get into the playoffs when they had been a perennial doormat throughout their time in the league. When they moved from Vancouver to Memphis, in their entire history, they had pretty much been a doormat. He had Hubie Brown as the team's head coach. He won Coach of the Year in 2004. Hubie did after being hired by West, and West also won the Executive of the Year. And I think that what West was able to do in terms of evaluating talent and assembling rosters was second to none in terms of past general managers that there have been in the NBA. A lot of people discuss Bob Myers and what he was able to do in Golden State. Don't forget, Jerry West was also an advisor with the Warriors in that time, from 2011 to 2017. So I think that West, his fingerprints were on a lot of successful franchises. The Clippers, he was working with the Clippers when they made their first Western Conference Finals a few years back. So his ability to identify talent and also to be able to build rosters has been second to none. And I think that when you look back in terms of some of the best players in NBA history, considering the time period that he played in, maybe he's not mentioned as much. But the fact that he's still the NBA logo all these years later, I think speaks for itself for what he was as a player. And he's one of the most identifiable players for that alone. As I said, I think he's primarily known these days as an executive, and what he was able to do with the Lakers. Those Kobe and Shaq teams that he was able to build were incredible. The players that he was able to add, Rick Fox being one of them, Tyronn Lue, Devin George, all these players that West was able to get and add to the Lakers to make them the team they were. Even adding Vlade Divac, drafting him out of Yugoslavia at the time when they did, he helped build that team with Cedric Ceballos and Del Harris as the coach and Nick Van Exel. He got them to the Western Conference semifinals in '95, and they were able to win. He was able to win the Executive of the Year that year. That was actually the only year that he was able to win Executive of the Year with the Lakers, which is kind of hard to believe. But I think that the way he laid the foundation for that Lakers team in the '90s, and then eventually what they became in the late '90s and the early 2000s, the dynasty that they were. And let's not forget the '80s Lakers. His fingerprints are all over that team, whether it be with Kareem, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Byron Scott, all of these players, Michael Cooper. That was as well drafted and well built a team in basketball history throughout a decade. And I think that West, his fingerprints are all over that. So what he was able to do, how he was able to build teams throughout the league, whether he was in Memphis or Los Angeles, I think he needs to be remembered as arguably the greatest architect in basketball history. And not only that, one of the greatest guards in basketball history. He was able to score, he was able to distribute and be a playmaker. He played with guys like Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain. He was only drafted behind Oscar Robinson when he came out of West Virginia. Arguably one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. So his contributions to the game at all levels can't be questioned. And I think this is a huge loss for the league and for basketball as a whole. They lost one of their greatest ambassadors today. And so I just wanted to come on here and do a quick rest in peace to Jerry West and pay tribute to the contributions that he made, whether it was as a player or as a general manager. And enjoy Game 3 of the finals tonight. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And take care, guys.